Welcome back. It's Dr. Nick here, and you are listening to Holistic Mental Health for Women Solopreneurs, where we prioritize our wellness so we can build without burning out.
Mhm.
And today I am joined with the lovely Shakari Anderson. Yay! Welcome,
Yes,
welcome. So
thank you for
excited.
having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here for day three of our self care
Mhm.
series. We are counting down to International Self Care Day, which is Friday, July 24th. For those of you who have not heard me say this before, International Self Care Day was um, established on July 24th as a sign to all of us that self care is a 24/7 lifestyle, not an event that we schedule, right? So July 24th, 7/24, 24/7. So
I love it.
isn't that awesome? So you can remember that
Yes.
your self-care is a lifestyle 24/7. Um, and we have had some powerful conversations, really beautiful conversations, and today is no different. So Shakari is here with me, and I asked Shakari to come on because, y'all, this is such a fun story. Um, I'm gonna let her tell you a little bit about herself, but first, I just want to tell you how we even got to this point. So, Shakari and I, as of a month and a half ago, we're complete and total strangers, right?
Mhm. Huh?
Complete and total strangers. We live in different states, never knew each other before. She posted something on um, we both work out at a place called Hot Works. If you don't know about Hot Works, you need to check it out. But we both work
Mhm.
out there in different states, and there are some Facebook groups for Hot Works. So we were both in these Facebook groups, and she was posting in um, a couple of the Facebook groups that I'm in about this challenge that she was doing. It was a 30-day hot Pilates challenge. Now, when she was posting this, I was coming off of just a really difficult start to the year. I think it was like early June when I saw it. And I had a really difficult start to the year. And then I lost one of my best friends. And I knew that I needed something to hold on to for myself
Mm.
to kind of get myself back into my patterns of um, just life and taking care of myself and, prioritizing me. And so when I saw
Mhm.
her challenge, I was like, oh, I need to do that. I need to be in there every day. And then somehow I just started making videos, and I don't even know if I don't know, maybe you just inspired me because of your videos. I don't even know. But I was like, I'm going to make videos and I'm going to do this. And so we did this challenge together, complete strangers, posting videos, encouraging each other on this 30-day journey. And it has just been such an amazing thing to be a part of. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have her on today, because I want to talk about the power of commitment, consistency, and community, because this has become a community. I still support her. I still see her videos. We're talking about other challenges, and just the fact that we committed to this 30-day thing. And there were days that I did not want to do it, y'all. I did not want to step into that into that
Mhm.
sauna. But it was like, "No, we're doing this together." And then there was the day when I got really sick and I couldn't step in there. And
Mm.
uh, you know, as a coach, some of the things that I see are when we set goals for ourselves
Mhm.
and we make one little,
Mhm.
like, I'm not even gonna call it a mistake. It's just one little thing that kinda we get a little off, or we don't do it
Mhm.
exactly the way we said we were gonna do it, and
Mhm.
then we throw it all away. We're
Mhm.
so hard on ourselves, right? We are our worst critic.
Mhm.
And so I wasn't able to do day 8 of the challenge, but I came back, got back, and she posted on my video, "Don't worry, you're gonna be back at it tomorrow," so it was just very encouraging. So that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about the power of commitment, committing to yourself, committing to
Mhm.
show up for yourself, consistency, not perfection, right? Because we were
Mhm.
very consistent. We may not have made every single day. I may not have done it full out every day if I
Mhm.
couldn't, but I was there. I was in there. I was showing up. She was showing up. And then the community of us supporting one another, cheering each other on, it's just been a very beautiful thing. So that's what we're talking about today. So, Shikari, why don't you tell people, and thank you for coming on here. I knew this was going to be a very powerful conversation, but
Oh,
why don't you
abs
tell people why you even started the challenge, what it meant to you, um, where you were at when you decided to do this, and how this has been part of your self care?
Okay, well, first off, Nicole, Dr. Nick, I want to say thank you for having me. You are an absolute amazing human. You made the 30-day challenge so much easier for me because I had you by my side. I wasn't by myself. I knew that I had to show up for you, especially when I had already seen your videos for the day. But I chose 30 days of hot Pilates because in my health and wellness business, we as a community there, we all did a 30-33 challenge where we did 30 days of exercise, 30 minutes of exercise, and 3 products. So
Mhm.
I knew that I wanted to do hot Pilates for my 30 minutes of choice because I had been seeing so many results with with Pilates in general. And I just felt like Hot Works needed their own just because Hot Works is such an amazing way to transform. I have been trying to transform for 2 years, and this challenge, I really needed the commitment and the consistency because I had gained 40 pounds of the 60 pounds that I lost. So I was starting to get back to that place where I was uncomfortable, not really seeing myself how I knew I could see myself. So I really needed it. And I have done challenges before, but I was not fully committed the full
Mhm.
entire time. So I needed this 30 days to be consistent every day. And the posting, we in the challenge, we were in groups of accountability of threes. And the biggest transformation of 3 wins $10,000. So
Okay.
I was amazed that you did this challenge for no recognition, for simply what you wanted for yourself. But I know I needed the 30 days because I had never posted consistently. I would participate, but not participate fully. And although I did show up in the sauna every day, it was some days that I did not do the full amount of the whole session. But, like you stated before, it's the consistency and not being perfect, just
Yeah.
being persistent. So I needed this challenge too. I needed it to regain my confidence of self, me starting and finishing what I said I would do. And it was absolutely amazing. And having you by my side, your videos were the highlight of my days. I enjoyed, watching our videos from start to finish, from day 1 to day 30. It was just amazing. And I want to say thank you again for being the best accountability partner because you wasn't doing it for any gain but for yourself. So I
Yeah.
think that was amazing. And you are the MVP of the 30-33 Hot Pilates Challenge.
Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you,
You're
thank you. Yeah,
welcome.
yeah, it was so amazing, you guys, and I I really wanted this conversation to be part of my self-care week because I think sometimes when we're talking about self-care and people sometimes people are like, one of the comments that I had on one of my chats was like, just do it, just schedule it, just do it. And sometimes we know what to do a lot of times. A lot of times people know what to do for themselves. They know what they need, but it
Mhm,
can be really difficult for a variety of reasons to make the commitment and be consistent. And for some people, even you know, mothers, people who are neurodivergent, people who maybe have experienced grief, like I was experiencing grief, people who are caretakers, taking care of family members, and just really pouring out and giving out. It can be a little overwhelming, right? To
mhm,
think
mhm,
about putting
mhm,
yourself first and showing up for yourself because there's so many things that we have our hands in, there's so many roles that we play. And I just wanted to highlight the fact that it made it so much easier and more fun, honestly, to be
mhm,
going through this with someone else. And so
mhm,
I think it's a very important part of self care to make sure that we are nurturing our community and building those connections and recognizing that sometimes it is not just as simple as, oh, just do it, oh, just schedule it, oh, just show up for yourself. We can
mhm,
say those things, but there's
mhm,
so much that goes into it for us, um especially as women, and all of the roles that we play. And so having community, having people that are like-minded, that can travel that journey with you, that can be
mhm,
your cheerleader, that can,
mhm,
celebrate you, that
mhm.
is such a beautiful thing and it's so powerful. And it really is a part of developing and strengthening your holistic mental health, right? Your
Yes.
holistic mental health. I don't know about you, but I definitely have had times where the grief that I had experienced, or maybe even depression that I had been
Mhm,
walking through,
mhm,
um, was really, really difficult. And movement of your body, like Noemi's on here. Hi, Noemi. Noemi loves to play volleyball. Like that is
mhm.
one of the things that she loves to do, and it makes her happy, makes her feel good. That's how this challenge was for me. Hot Works is like anytime I can get in the sauna doing Pilates or whatever, I like yoga as well. And
Mhm.
um, it's just it is not just about losing weight. Like some of us have weight loss goals,
Right.
absolutely. But the movement of your body and keeping your endorphins and all of those things,
Mhm.
it feels so good and it can help keep your mind stable. It's like, this
Mhm.
pause for you,
Yes.
right?
So, it's funny that you said that because when I joined Hot Works 2 years ago, it had became I used to say, or I still say it's my favorite place.
Mhm.
It was a happy place for me, somewhere I went when I needed to get a pause, from life, from family, responsibility. And I went through a period when I gained the 40 pounds back that I had lost. I was in a deep depression. I no longer went to the gym. I had a whole free year membership and basically did not use that year of membership because I could not do the things that I once loved to do. I couldn't. I remember one day I went to the gym and I didn't even do a full 15 session and I was like, I'm out. I wanted to just bawl when I was in the sauna. And I was happy once I seen myself getting back to myself when I knew that I wanted to get back into the gym. So you're so right. This is what I needed. I know that Hot Works is a place where I go to get that solemn for myself, where I go to breathe, where I go to pour into myself because self-care is healthcare, that time for ourselves in the sauna. And then it's just all of the great benefits that the infrared sauna provides, longevity of life, helping with cardiovascular, um,
Yep.
so I was happy. I really need this challenge in more ways of just doing it for the transformation, the goal of the money, because that is a plus. But, I needed it to get back in the game and, to get back to where I once was. So yeah, and like I said, I will keep saying you made it so much better for me because that was the first time I had ever been so committed. So
Thank you again. You, it was amazing. Thank you for even sharing it in the groups that we
mhm,
were in. Um, And I think that's a powerful statement that you're saying this was the first time you were that committed. And I think that it's again speaks to the power of community and
mhm,
connection and
mhm,
being able to have people in your life who
mhm,
are cheering you on, who are walking beside you. All of
mhm,
that is a part of self care.
mhm,
And I know that, in my full time job, I am a mental health coach, and one of the biggest um, concerns that people come to me with is feeling isolated,
mhm,
feeling like a lot of women, like, I don't have any friends. I don't know how to connect with people in adulthood. I
mhm,
don't, my family doesn't understand me. My family doesn't necessarily support me. My family doesn't have the same goals or vision that I do.
mhm,
And so for me, a
mm,
part of this is, you know, tapping into the things that you feel you need. First of all, you have to raise your level of self awareness, right? You have to raise your
right.
level of awareness about, okay, what is it that I actually do need for myself in this season of life that I'm in? What do I need in
Mhm,
my spirit? What do I need in my mind? What do I need in my body? What do
mhm,
I need in my environment? And
mhm,
really taking a pause to ask yourself that and investigate that. And then um, tapping into some of those things that you enjoy. I think I told you that I'm doing a somatic coaching class right now. So I
okay,
will have a somatic coaching certification
mhm,
coming soon. Yay. But in that class, part of the class is that I had to be coached. So someone
mhm,
was coaching me in this area. And one of the things that came out for me in the last session that I did was that um, movement of my body
mm,
and creativity were the
mhm,
things that really open me up. And when I'm
mhm,
not doing those things, that's when you find me like sinking, shrinking in, not being as open, not being as free flowing, not being
mhm,
as peaceful and calm. And so for me, it's like, okay, I need to be in community
mhm,
where these things can flow more easily for me. So movement of my body, like your challenge helped me with that. And so the next thing I'm working on is like, okay, how can I add more creativity in my life? Like I am an artist. And so if I'm not painting or drawing or singing, playing the piano, doing whatever, then I feel closed down. So for me, that is a part of my self
mhm,
care is doing these
mm,
things, but not just doing them, finding community that supports me in doing these things, right?
right.
Right.
Yes, community is so important because, like you said, anybody that finds themselves isolating or feeling like they don't belong in a space where they are, when you get in the right community, it really can change things for you. And I have to say thank you to some of the communities that I am a part of that allowed me to flourish, to be able to even put myself in a position where I was able to position the challenge to everyone,
Mm.
because I think I put it out into at least 7 or 8 groups, about the challenge. And, you were the only one that really stuck in. It was the people that said, "Yes, I'm in," but you did the full thing. I encourage, everyone to post, because that way we could show what Hot Pilates could do, for our whole well being, because if anybody looks at our day 1 versus day 30, you will not only see the physical transformation, but you will see even the hurdles that we overcame and, just the peace. You can see the peace,
Mhm.
in the videos. But yes, I am thankful to the communities because I have also been a person who felt like, I'm in a space where I want more and I'm doing this and putting myself in certain rooms, but nobody around me did. So when I got into the right community, I no longer think about who's not doing it. It's about who's doing it with me, who's around me, and how we can help each other in that specific community. So,
Yes, that's so beautiful.
mhm.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yes, I was just checking out some of the comments.
Oh, and hello
Yeah.
everyone.
Yes, hi everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning. We are, hey Ronnie. I'll be talking to Ronnie live tomorrow as well.
Wow.
Yes. But yeah, these have been some really beautiful conversations. This morning, we're talking about commitment to yourself, showing up for yourself, consistency,
Mhm.
and community, and the power of these things. Um, and and these three C's really as tools of self care.
I love that.
Um, yeah, yeah. So, um, you guys, I want to just highlight real quick to the idea of knowing your capacity, right?
Mhm.
Because, um, like I said, this year started off in a really challenging way for me. There have been multiple losses that I have experienced this year. Um, and I was in an intense caregiving situation earlier in this year. And, you know, when those things happen, or even like maybe you're moving, maybe you have a change in your job, maybe a baby comes into your life, or, whatever transition, any type of transition. And I think sometimes we don't necessarily give ourselves the space or the grace to recognize that the capacity has changed, right?
Mhm.
And so we kind of push ourselves and force ourselves to strive to keep going at the same pace and the same patterns that we've been doing when actually everything has changed. And so part of self care is really pausing and recognizing where you're at
Mhm.
and giving yourself, like, honoring your capacity, really understanding what your capacity is and not criticizing yourself for having um, a situation that your capacity has changed, right?
Right.
And I really want to bring that out because self care is about so much more than going to get our nails done, going to get our hair done, taking
Mhm.
bubble baths,
Mhm.
although I love those things, don't
Mhm.
get me wrong, I
Mhm.
love it. But I can go get my hair done
Mhm.
and come back to my life, and my life looks exactly the same. And so I may look cute, but
Yeah.
inside is like a chaotic storm, right?
Mhm.
And so the whole idea of pausing is not just to pause and do something, this one time thing that you enjoy. It is really setting your life up in a way that supports your capacity. And
Mhm.
sometimes that's going to change. So, really,
Right.
it has to be a consistent lifestyle of pausing, checking in with yourself, you
Mhm.
know, this
Mhm.
this consistent self-awareness of where am I at? what am I doing? What do I need? How can I
Mhm.
adjust? Making sure things are really truly in alignment with
Mhm.
where you're at and what you need for where you want to go, right?
That's so true.
Yeah.
That is so true.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, let's check out some of these comments. When I did not honor the limit to my capacity at any particular moment, I felt like I betrayed myself. Yes, and that I lost part of me in that moment. It's very disheartening to feel like that. It is not honoring your capacity, the limit to your capacity. In her reflection is saying that she felt like she betrayed herself. And that that is I mean, we do that all the time often. I call it abandoning ourselves. Like we self-abandon so
Mhm.
much because well, I think there's so many reasons why we do it. Some of it is guilt,
Mhm.
because if we tend to our need or whatever's going on with us, um, something else might have to give, or someone else might have to give. Um, Sometimes tending to the need or the change in capacity could mean we have to look at some painful things within us, that can be difficult. So it's such a layered conversation, and I think
Mhm.
that it's just important to have these conversations to raise the level of awareness and really get us thinking about
Mhm.
the patterns that we are living and operating in, right?
Mhm.
We talked about this a little bit on both of my previous calls, which to me it drives the point home that our mindset is
Mhm.
so important when we're talking about the issue of self care, because
Mhm.
how you see yourself
Mhm.
is how you are going to treat yourself,
Mhm.
right? We behave from belief.
Mhm.
We behave from belief. So, whatever you believe about yourself, about a situation, about
Mhm.
self care, about goal setting, about your capacity, whatever it is that you believe
Mhm.
about these things, your behavior is going to
Mhm.
show up. It's going to reflect that belief. So it's
Mhm.
really important. A form of self care is going to be examining where you're at. What is
Mhm.
it that you're believing about yourself, about your
Mhm.
situation,
Mhm.
about what's possible for you,
Right.
about what self care really means and looks like? You know, all
Mhm.
of these things. Um, it's a very important work, and it's like it's a
Mhm.
work, it's an inner work. Like
Mhm.
Samantha, who I spoke with on Monday, she calls it self-devotion, being
Mm.
devoted to yourself
Ooh.
and really understanding who you are, understanding where you're at. And a lot of us as women, especially when we reach a certain age, we
Mhm.
have lived life for so many other people.
Right.
Um, that we lose a sense of who we are and what even brings us joy. Like my
Mhm.
thing right now is being the leading lady of your life. Like
Okay.
you got
That.
right? You have got to be the leading lady of your life. And so when
Mhm.
you think about the movies, TV shows, the leading ladies, everything centers around them. Everything, the show, the movie, the storyline, everything centers around them. And I want for us as women to start to take that role as, you know what, I am the leading lady of my life. And because I am the leading lady of my life, I need this, this, and this so that the show can go on, right?
I love it.
So, yes, yes.
Mhm.
Let's see. So Ronnie is saying also, I had to start honoring my commitment as a caregiver. It's really a lot and can take a toll on you. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. Caregiving is so much. Caregiving, um, it really can, depending on your situation and what
Mhm.
your caregiving situation looks like,
Mhm.
can take over your life completely for a season. And I've been in that situation. I've been in a caregiving, very intense caregiving situations 3 times in my life. And
Mm.
each time looked a little bit different, but um, each time. totally uprooted me and the patterns that I was living. And I remember the very first caregiving situation that I was in, I remember there was a stretch of time where I did not eat for like 12 days.
Wow.
And I didn't necessarily even notice that I didn't eat for 12 days because I
Mhm.
was so consumed with
Mhm.
taking care of everyone else. And it's not that I would necessarily change that I was available to take care of
Mhm.
everything else, but now if I could go back, I might if I had the capacity to maybe change what I was doing or how I was doing it. But the other thing about that is sometimes I was talking to someone about caregiving actually, and I said, sometimes when you're in the midst of something like that, caregiving situation or even like a grief and loss situation, sometimes you don't have the mental capacity to be like, "Oh, I need to do XYZ," or "I need this for myself," or "I need,"
Yeah.
like, you just don't have it. You
Uh-uh.
just don't have it and you can't do it. And so what I always like this is one of the tools that I give people is that today, when you're not in a caregiving situation, when you're not in a grief and loss situation, you should try to create like a plan of action. So
Mhm.
like who do you trust in your life to check on you that you could just send a text message like, "Hey, I'm in this situation. This is what I need," or that you have it written out already beforehand. You may not know everything because we don't know what can come
Mhm.
up, but just kind of thinking through some of these things ahead of time
Mhm.
and putting them down just like we have like caregivers, we have emergency binders for the people that we're caring for, or, emergency like notes and everything like that. I feel like there should be that for caregivers. Like, hey, this is my caregiving binder and this is what would be helpful for me. Like you can think about it clearly now when you're not in the situation.
Mhm.
Because when you get in that situation, sometimes it just can't happen. Right.
Give my
And
hats off to any caregiver. I am a nurse by, I can't say by day, but by night. I am a nurse. And I know the strain that I get just being there from 4 to 12 hours. So I can only imagine day to day the hours. And that's where community comes in, having a
Mhm.
great community and having access to resources because caregiver strain is a real deal. And I know that if I'm a nurse and I get burnt out and I get to go home, I can only imagine someone that has to deal with that in the home, you know?
Yeah,
So my heart goes out to all the caregivers around the world. I took
absolutely.
care of my grandfather for about a month and a half. While he was waiting for a room in an assisted living facility, and I could not work that month and a half,
Mhm.
and I knew that I could not continue to take care of him or my family was going to go into debt because he was a brittle diabetic, so I literally had to make sure he had his insulin and all of those things, and thank goodness I didn't have to worry about changing any, briefs or anything like that because he at that time he was mobile and he could go to the bathroom on his own.
Mhm.
Now it's not the case. So yes, I think that for any caregiver community, having someone they can rely on and having resources to where now they have respite care where,
Yeah.
a loved one can go into the facility for a period of time so you can get that time to yourself because yes, mothers and parents get strained. So you can only imagine having to deal with that, on a higher level,
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Shout out to all the caregivers, and we hope you're
Yeah,
taking care of yourselves. Yes. Like if you don't take anything else from this conversation, take away the fact that knowing your capacity, knowing where you're at, knowing what season you're in what you need for yourself, spirit, mind, body, environment,
Mhm.
health, all of the things, really being in touch with where you're at is so critically important. Having that awareness alone is a form of self care. It's important, and don't let anybody shame you for making choices that are for your good, right? Don't let
Mhm.
anyone shame you for making choices that you recognize you need to be able to function, to be able to live out your purpose, your dreams, and honestly, just to live day to day, right? Just to breathe, just to get up and keep going. Like, don't let anybody shame you for
Mhm.
for being the leading lady of your life, right? Don't let anybody shame you for making these important decisions for you.
That's
It's
right.
very, very, very important. Lost multiple family members.
Um,
Shakari, why don't you tell people are you where they can find you?
all right. Okay, so I am Shakari Anderson on Facebook, Shakari on Facebook, and I am MSFANTSY Miss Fancy on TikTok and Instagram. I post on all platforms. Um, I am a health and wellness beauty influencer. You can find my links in one of those in either Facebook or TikTok. Um, and I am also doing a challenge. Another 30-33 challenge starts on August the 3rd, and I would love to join you on the no sugar. I
Oh,
think that
cool.
I need the 30 pounds.
Okay. Well, we do have a Facebook group for that. The Facebook group is called Sweet Freedom. My sister and I will
Okay.
be yes, I will post everybody if you are interested in the Sweet Freedom group, where we're gonna be doing
Mhm.
the no sugar challenge. I will post that on my Substack so that you can join us there. Um, um, I'll be also sharing what I'm eating every day of the no sugar challenge with the recipes so that you can
Mhm.
have some ideas of snacks and healthy meals that actually taste good. Cause I'm not eating anything that
Mhm.
tastes gross. so um
Right.
yeah, right? Okay. So lots of good stuff coming, and ways that you can stay connected and encouraged in your self-care journey. And I just want to say to Shikari, thank you so much. I didn't say this before, but y'all, because we did this challenge together, we were strangers. I said this for those of you that weren't on at the very beginning. We were strangers before this challenge. This woman has blessed me and sent me this box of stuff, like all these beautiful products, and um just because I did this with her, and she's just such a beautiful, generous, caring person. And so definitely stay connected with her, and anything that I know we're going to do another challenge together. So it's going to be great, all surrounding taking care of
Um,
yourself, right? So
yes, we definitely will. I enjoyed you for the 30 days. Um, Again, like I said, thank you for doing the challenge with me. Thank you for having me again today. It was amazing to talk about self care, and it was amazing to find my way back. And I hope that the challenge did just as much for you as it did for me.
absolutely, it did. It did. All right, y'all. Have a fabulous day. Yes. So, love y'all. Take care of yourselves. And
Yeah, have a good one.
all right. Bye bye.